All right. We are live. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're going to get started. This is our Meet Code Savvy event. And let me get back to our first slide here. The reason that we do the work that we do at Code Savvy is because there's a lot of tech jobs open that need to be filled. And we don't have quite enough people that are skilled enough to fill those positions. So as you can see here, there's a pretty good median salary or average salary for those positions, and not enough people to fill them. And so Code Savvy runs a bunch of different programs to get people excited about computer science and give them some experience and some hands-on so that they can figure out if they like it and want to continue learning down that path. Um, so again, this is now outdated. There is a new state of tech report from MinTech that just came out this last week, so we'll have to update our numbers. But from what I've seen, they aren't much better. They're very similar. So their projection last year was that over the next 10 years, we would have about 81,000 tech jobs that would need to be filled. And as I said, we kind of have a lack of people with those skills here in Minnesota. So we really need to train everyone to have computational and tech skills in order to meet the needs of those roles and our infrastructure here in Minnesota. And really encourage people to stay here and work versus leaving and going elsewhere. So those are a little bit about the why we do what we do. And so I'll just kind of introduce Code Savvy. We are a nonprofit. We're focused on inclusive computer science and technology learning. And so our mission is to interrupt and counteract existing gender, racial, and socioeconomic gaps in computing. We do that through a number of programs, one of which is our Educate program, which specifically works with teachers, with curriculum development and professional development. We also do coaching and can help them bring computer science into their classrooms. And then our experience programs are our Technovation Girls Challenge and our Bite Size Challenge, which are a little bit more long form learning cohorts designed to be focused on app and AI development, leadership, entrepreneurship, design, and presentation. So those you'll hear a little bit more about in a second. And then our Explore programs, which is where we are today at Minneapolis College, includes our Code Explorers and some of our like more pop-up short form events where we focus on topics like Scratch and Thunkable, web development. We have some new programs with AI. We have our AI Racing League, which just kicked back off. And then our e-learning, which are more workshops and online webinars and podcasts focus on different topics. So those are the ways that we deliver programming. This is an overview of our student pathways. So this is, people can come in from all sorts of different ways. They can come in through Code Explorers or through our partnership with Girls Who Code. They could start in the Bite Size Challenge, or it could be a referral from a teacher who has done our cohort or one of our school partners. But the essence is that all of our programs are supported by mentors who, as those kids come into the program, they get their learning from that program, and then hopefully they can move on to become our student ambassadors, and then eventually give back to our programs through mentoring on their own, or giving back to students younger than them. So that's just kind of a little roadmap that we created to show all the different ways that people can engage with Code Savvy. So to kick off, we'll talk a little bit about our educator program. That is our educator cohort we'll focus on. It runs during the school year, and I think we try to keep it about 30 teachers, but those 30 teachers come to monthly meetings with us. We have guest speakers, different topics that we cover. all focused on bringing computer science into their classroom. So integrating it with different other topics and making resources and things available to teachers so that they can make the most of that. Another component of that is that over the course of the cohort, they're developing a curricula that they share with at least 10 of their peers. So our hopes are that by them participating in the cohort, they're bringing that knowledge back to their school and helping to create an environment of computer science within their district. Next, we'll talk about our Technovation Girls Challenge. This is our 10th year of doing Technovation, and official registration has kicked off. We will have our Launch-a-Palooza, which is an online event that we'll be doing in December to kind of get the girls ready to start their challenge. But between now and then, we're just focused on getting girls and mentors registered. So the purpose of that program is over the course of about 12 weeks or more, if they start early, they can get hands-on experience designing either an AI technology or a mobile app or some combination of the two. And so we help them work through the curricula. We can pair people with mentors, but it's teams of up to 5 girls working together to do that over the course of the program. It is a global competition. And so the projects that they build during the challenge get submitted to a global competition, and they can win prizes and trips and all sorts of recognition for their hard work. So it's a cool program, and we'll have time later if anybody has questions about that. But like I said, we're really focused right now on recruiting girls to be in the program this year. It is all free, and we also need mentors to help support them. So we'll, if anybody is interested in that one, please put your information in the chat and we will reach out. Next, we'll talk about our bite-sized challenge, which is a little bit of a newer program. It was developed with the help from Thomson Reuters as an introductory program. Sometimes the Technovation Challenge can be kind of a lot to bite off at first. So this was developed to be an introductory program that runs. It's 16 lessons that can be flexibly run in the classroom. So we work with teachers to bring it into their school. We do a training with the teachers. We provide mentors and the microbits and everything that the teacher will need to run the program. It can be done from either once a week or twice a week or every day for 2 weeks. It's very flexible in how it can be run in the class and how it works best for those teachers. But over the course of those 16 lessons, the students will get an introduction to prototyping using a microbit, which is a microcomputer. So they're getting coding, development, some presentation, and entrepreneurship skills through that program. Today we are at Minneapolis College, and this is part of our Code Explorers program. This is for kids 8 to 18, so they can explore different technologies and languages. We have industry mentors that help them through that process. We are in person at Minneapolis College about twice a month on Saturdays. But we also are going to be reintroducing our virtual component to that program for people that can't make it to Minneapolis College. So that will be starting the 18th of November. But we do encourage people, if you are local to the Twin Cities and able to, we love to have you here in person. There's snacks and fun and people, and we'll show you a little bit of that later on in the stream. That our Code Explorers is also kind of housing our AI Racing League and our Create with AI programs, which are the AI Racing League is not new. It started actually 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, but it was on a little bit of a hiatus through the pandemic. And so We have relaunched that, and we're looking for schools that are interested in bringing that into their curricula or into their after-school programming. And then our Create with AI program is a new one that we've been testing, where kids are using AI to create code and visualize complex topics in computation, robotics, engineering, audio, technology, or television, and energy production. So that's what the CREATE stands for. So they're getting access to those concepts and those ideas, and then they're learning more about them with AI and visualization using the P5 JavaScript language. So there's a new video up on our channel as of yesterday that gives you a little bit more information about that and a deep dive. So we'll have links if anybody's interested in learning more about any of those, the Code Explorers programs. We'll have information for you later. Something new that we're looking at and kind of bringing in and implementing is a one-to-one mentorship or sponsorship program that will help students as they kind of age out of our Code Savvy experience programs, so around 18, hoping that they will, if they need help kind of transitioning either into college or into that first career, we'll have one-to-one mentorship that can help them with that through that process. We are doing that in conjunction, starting with the Minnesota Women in Tech and some other tech communities, so that we can match people that have experience in the industry that the students are interested in with that field of expertise. So that's a new thing that we're starting. We also have our Youth Advisory Council that is kicking off now, which is one way for us to give older students a little bit more leadership help, or what's the word I'm looking for? Experience. That's the word. Leadership experience, and help them, transition in their own lives. And so we're hoping that that committee or that council will help steer this program as well. So this is a new one for us, but it's much needed in the industry and in the field, and I think it'll be a good fit. That said, any student that participates in any of our Code Savvy programs that we just mentioned are eligible to get our Spark scholarships. So these funds are meant to help students on their journey toward technology or entrepreneurship. And so they can use it for education, they could use it for a laptop, they could use it for anything that they need to continue on that path of computer science learning. And so we have different age brackets and different ranges, but there's an application process that will open up early 2024. And then our judging and everything ends in about April, and then we announce our winners at our Code Savvy Celebrate event in May. So those are a good way for students to get some help and also kind of brag about the things that they've been doing in tech and help share their stories with us so that we can learn about what they're doing. And I just mentioned we have two big annual events that we run. The first one is called the MN Codes Educator Summit. It's a virtual conference which highlights computer science education in Minnesota and beyond. We have speakers that come in and give talk on different topics and share their resources and curricula and really help us expand the reach of computer science for our educators. Our second big event of the year is our Code Savvy Celebrate. And that's just basically a big wrap up of our entire season coming to a close, where we have awards and we give out those Spark scholarships and just have a day full of fun so folks can get together and be in community with each other and celebrate all of the learning and the accomplishments that they've done through the year. So those are our big events. And we have a few partnerships that I want to mention. We have lots of sponsors that I actually don't have a slide for today, but you can find those on our website. But our regional partners are other organizations that are very closely tied in with the work that we're doing. They are, mission bound with us, and they offer shared access to some resources, trainings, some different challenges for our students, and then opportunities for awards and for advancement for the participants of our programs. And so they really enhance our community here in Minnesota. So we are partnered with CS for All, the Computer Science Teachers Association, Code.org, Girls Who Code, and then the Scratch Foundation. So those are very close partners with us that provide resources and things for our community. Here is our numbers from last year. So this is kind of our impact numbers. I'll give you a link to this in the notes for this session for the full impact report. You can find it there at that bit.ly link, but it's just, we'll be updating these numbers very soon since we're ending or nearing year end. But this is what we did in 2022. So you can see, we've impacted a lot of students with our programs, and our hopes are that we can continue to increase those numbers. And we can do that by you helping us really through a bunch of different ways. But like I mentioned earlier, you could mentor. Right now, we need mentors for our Code Explorers program, which is very short term, like 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon, or more long term through our Technovation program, which is that 12-week program I mentioned. You could be a judge for our competitions, which is kind of a one-day commitment in May, going through all of the submissions from the Technovation program and from our Spark scholarships. If you're looking to give back a little more, we have working committees, which is about 5 to 7 hours a month. And there's a bunch of different, everything from communications to outreach to fundraising. Those are listed on our website. I'll include a link to that. And then our strategic board is about 3 to 5 hours per month. And that, we're always looking for people that can help steer our organization and keep our strategy fresh and effective. And then, of course, donating either in kind or financially and sponsoring our programs or events is always helpful. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can help us continue the work that we're doing and become a part of our Code Savvy community. This is one of an outline of those different committees that I mentioned. So there's, our board of directors, and then we have strategic committees, which kind of advise all programs, and then we have our working committees that are very much steering the day-to-day work that needs to be done in order for us to reach the people that we need to reach and keep the programs running. So again, this information is also on the website. But lastly, I will say we love to connect with everybody. So if you have any questions or if there's anything that you need more information on, we're super happy to help with that. You can reach out via email at contactus@codesavvy.org, or just go on our website. There's a lot of information there. And then, of course, on social media, we're at CodeSavvy.org on all channels. So that is the very condensed version of what we do at Code Savvy. And I really appreciate everybody tuning in today. Like I said, we are live here in Minneapolis. So I'm going to switch over to a different camera and we'll see what's going on here. But feel free to add any of your questions into the chat. Or if you want to just email, the email's right there. But I really appreciate you being here, and we'll talk to you soon.